Aussie, 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 Aussie. Ole, 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 ole. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Okay, welcome back to KC's Beer Room. I'm KC. Coming up on tonight's show, we've got the World Cup, Australia versus Paraguay. We've also got how I went in the Woodford to Glenbrook Classic mountain bike trail run ride. And we've got a great beer from a great Australian brewery. We got beer coming from Kaiju. Doesn't sound very Australian. But we got that and a lot more coming up on tonight's show. I'm KC. This is KC's Bar. And this, whoops, is the Big Beer Show.
Yeah. Yeah, step into KC's where the vibe is live. Craft beer flowing, yeah, we thrive. Ales and lagers got styles galore. Every sip's a journey, always wanting more. The center hops hit you as you walk in. A flavor explosion where the fun begins. Chilling with the crew, laughter fills the air. In this beer room, there's magic everywhere. KC's Beer Room, home for the connoisseur. Smells like beer, but it's so much more. Crafted with passion. Every drop's a gem in this hobby paradise. I'm right at home, amen.
Okay, after all that excitement, it was a bit of a letdown, the game today. Australia played Paraguay. Was a bit disappointed. We didn't score a goal, but we did enough to get through to the round of 32 by drawing 0-0. So that's 2 games in a row. Australia failed to score. Tony Popovic, he's got to do something the next game. We need a scorer. We need someone that can put it in the back of the net ski. 0-0, but it was good enough for us to advance. We could play Iran. We could play New Zealand. We could play Belgium more likely. Anyway, let's get the beer out. From Kaiju, like I said, it's a hazy pale ale. Let's put the beer goggles on so we can see what percentage it is. It's 4.8%. They're in a 375ml can. And I picked these up in Uncle Bam's on the way out the door for $16.99. $16.99 for a 4-pack of 375ml cans. Hazy Pale Ale. It's their pleasure cruise. There's a picture of a ship on front. Let's bring it around so you can see. Oh, we've got a can on the ground. We've got a man down. We've got a can down. There it is. There's the can. Beautiful big pleasure cruise ship. Is that the Fair Star? Oh, the Fair Star. What a great time I had in the Fair Star back in the 90s. Anyway, 1.4 standard drinks, 4.8%. Kaiju beer, pleasure cruise, product of Australia, proudly independent brewer. Let's crack it open. Get it in this glass. Let's go. Vigorous pour. So, who else stayed home today and watched the soccer? Were you as disappointed as I was, or did you think it was a good game? I thought we had some chances, but there was no firepower. There was no power behind any of the kicks towards goal. Anyway, let's move them over here. What's in the beer, you say? Right. The malts, they're using pale wheat and oat. So that should give it a nice pillowy mouthfeel. The hops, a lot of hops going on in this beer, a lot of hops. So there's Citra from the US, there's Mosaic from the US, there's Nelson from New Zealand, there's Eldorado from the US. There's the good old Galaxy from Australia, and there's also Amarillo from the US. It's got a IBU of 30, and I think I mentioned it was 4.8%. Snatch. Citrusy. Getting a lot of lemony, zesty, beautiful bitterness. As you can see, I'll bring it around. Let's bring it around. That's what we do. That's what we started doing. So let's keep doing it. Nice haziness there. Beautiful white frothy head. Can you see that? Without spilling it. Beautiful looking hazy pale ale. Citrusy, malty smell. It should be hoppy. There's enough hops in there to sink the Titanic. Right, that's the snatch. Let's get it down the hatch. There is a fair bit of carbonation, but it is still soft. I'm saying it's on the full-bodied side. Nice amount of citrus, maybe a little bit of tropicalness coming in. Yeah, it's not really a winter beer. It's more of a summer beer. What do we got? We got 14 degrees, so it's been wet and miserable in New South Wales. Well, in the western suburbs of Sydney. Why do I say western suburbs? I don't even live in the western suburbs of Sydney. I live in the Blue Mountains. It's 14 degrees. It's been rain this morning. Pretty good all day, but it's still wet and miserable. 14 degrees at 6:47 p.m. on the 26th of June, 2026. So I've got to put up a few photos of the ride, the Woodford to Glenbrook Classic. I'll put them up. I'll let you know how I went. It was a bit disappointing, but when you don't really train for these things, well, you're going to be disappointed. And I was deeply disappointed. Anyway, 25 kilometres of fire trail from Woodford down to Glenbrook. It was a great ride. I had fun. The hills sucked. Big time. So there was 127 riders. Have a guess where I came. Not last. So I'm a winner. 104th out of 127 in a time of 1 hour, 16 minutes and 17 seconds. And that was in the age group of 50 to 59. In my age group, 24th out of 29. I even got beaten by a 70-year-old. I even got beaten by someone riding a penny farthing. I even got beaten nearly by a runner. The runner came in an hour and 20-something minutes. Yes, I've got to train harder for next year's, but I'll be back for next year's. I'll be back stronger. I'm going to at least make it into the top 100 next year. Anyway, back to the beer. Yeah, it's got a good amount of grapefruit. If you love a hazy pale ale, you love a big grapefruit, a bit of zestiness, I guess you're going to enjoy this one. The head's gone away. This is the second can I've had, and maybe it's this glass. But anyway, if you give it a swirl, that head comes back. And you can hear it fizzing away. I only had one other Kaiju beer. I don't even know where that is. What was the blue can? I think it was. There's a blue can of Kaiju. Or is that just a pale ale, I think? I don't know. But anyway, that's Kaiju. Australia into the round of 32 at the World Cup, the greatest sporting event in the world. Because it is truly worldwide. Anyway, you all get to wherever they're playing next and whoever we're playing. I think we get a week or so off, maybe even a bit longer. But we'll be back in the KC's beer room with the results of the next game. Thanks for joining me. You all get a soccer ball up you. You get a Kaiju up you, or a Kaiju, however you want to say it. And until next time, I'm KC, and this is the Big Beer Show. Sandra. Right. Ole, 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 ole. Ole, 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 ole. Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot.